Right, I'm really not looking forward to this, but I only have myself to blame. Prepare to get covered in black, sticky, gooey, nasty stuff. Morning world, welcome to Thursday, 9th of October, and yeah, the parts have arrived. We're going to see if we can fix the ZAGO. It was the last load the other day. It was going quite well until I put that one stick in there. The stick that I knew was a bit big and possibly a bit dead and maybe a bit hard, and normally it would take that, no problem, but there's a sweet spot on the machine that if you get a hard bit of timber about yay long, about the right size, in the wrong place at the wrong time, it will jam the machine up and it'll either break the shear bolt or the weakest link in the chain. So the shear bolt's easy to replace. The chain is pig of a job. Right, we're going to just pull the machine out into some light so I can see what I'm doing. Famous Dave's up there doing his first mix of the day. Hoping to get some timbers on the roof today. Hoping. So, but we got to get building a controller ring first. They got to go and do an inspection. Right, okay. I think the first job is to get in the back of there and see if we can find out what the problem is. So we'll have that off there. Keys out of the ignition. I'll grab a bar as well, because we're probably going to need a bar to wriggle the bit that's stuck in out. That's the problem. We've got to pull that chain out of there, get the broken bit off of the end, which is obviously on the wrong end, because it had to be on the wrong end, not the easy end, the hard end. And that's heavy, that chain. Well, before we do that, let's clear out the mess inside. Luckily, I hadn't put much in there, so the problem I got is going to be in there. Don't fall. Don't fall. It's bits about that size, but not that bit. I reckon it's that bit. Oh, yeah, he's jammed in there, for sure. Right, we'll go and dig that out, and then we can put this thing back together again. That was unlucky. That was unlucky. I reckon he very nearly had gone through there. Oh, it moves. That's half the battle. Oh, the last one I had wouldn't move at all. So if I can't get this out, what I have to do is repair the chain, take the PTO shaft off the gearbox, move it onto the other 540 spline, which puts the gearbox in reverse. So whatever happens, this is curable. I'm just starting with the easiest option first and see if I can get away with that. We'll see. It is moving. Let's try the blunt end. Do you know what? I don't actually think this is the bit that's got it. I think there's another piece underneath it that's doing the naughty. That can go on the log pile. Right. Oh, maybe not that either. Maybe the link was just worn anyway. It didn't take very much. It wouldn't have been that. I can't actually find anything else wrong. I think what I might do is repair the chain and put him in reverse anyway. And if there is something in here, just keep an eye and see if it spits it out. That seems to get harder as I get older, strangely enough. Right, you can go back in there. Chain. I think I'm going to go and get a change of gloves first. I might even take my sleeves up as well. Right then, Ian, you're going to have to edit a whole load of useless stuff out, because I think once I get these covered in caca, I won't be touching that camera very much. It's a joining link that broke. Oh, that might actually make life a bit easier. It's the pin that broke on there, so will you come apart? No. Right. Okay. Right, well now I know. Oh, I wonder. This may not be quite as bad as I thought it would be. I'll go and get my pliers, get that apart. Yeah. Halfway there. The last time I did this, and I am prepared, I needed some baler string to assist, and I reckon I'm going to need that again. So I've got a bit ready. Back on with the gloves. This is that. Those of you that will know it, the smell of old grease and oil that's been in like it's like sort of old stinky gearbox smell. That's what I got. It's not horrible, but it is like, you know, you know exactly what it is. Right. I'm gonna have to wash my pliers off afterwards. They're gonna get covered in caca anyway. Ugh, slippery. I wonder if that's what happened. Did a pin drop out? Break off? Is that why this? Because that split pin didn't take a lot of getting out of there. Thing is, it needs both of them out to do it, so that doesn't make sense either, does it? That bit's all right. That's the bit that's not, it's the pin. Basically, should be two pins. It's gone. Right then, now for the fun bit. I've got to drag that all the way around there. So do I pull that one that way, and then that way? It might be easier to pull that back round that way. And then we'll pass you through there. And round there. I would show you what I'm doing, but it's really dark in there. And the GoPro's crap in the dark, so it's kind of nigh on pointless. And pull that at the same time. Hopefully. No, over the top, over the top. Right, so far so good. Okay, we've got to jump cogs now. Right, now I've got to get them tight. So I've either got to bring in back one. I wonder if I can do that. No. So I think the wheels are slightly out of time. So basically, I got the chain back, but I can't quite get him lined up, and it's because I think the gearbox is slightly out of time with this. So I've got to turn the gearbox. So I'm gonna have to go in the cab, put him in neutral, and just see if I can get a bar in there and just move that literally half an inch. This is some black, nasty, stinky. This is the stuff that you can wash your hands 10 times and you still never get it all off. Just sinks into your skin. Hence the reason for these things. Let's just try it with that first. And he ain't moving at all. I might have to get in the cab, switch him on and just tickle the PTO a tiny bit. I don't have a slight movement button on the tractor, it's either on or off, so wish me luck. I just want that drive sprocket to turn just enough to put a little bit more tension in the chain. Otherwise the links just won't meet. You just took the slack on that. Right. Is that enough? I don't know if it was enough though. Might want a little tickle more. All you got to remember is with the reduction on the gearbox, 30 turns on the PTO shaft is probably maybe 1 turn on those in there, so it is reduced quite a lot. So we'll try that again. We're going to have a look. I'm not going to put my hands in there, don't worry. Still quite a bit of slack in there. I want that bow to go out of there, I want it to be a little bit straighter. It's not a lot. It's a bit longer. Let's have a look at that. Of course, no my luck, I'm going the wrong way. All right, okay, well let's just have a look, see if I can pull that up a bit tighter. I'll put another pair of gloves on. These are second hand. They've probably already been worn, well definitely once, if not twice, so I've took these out of the bin, but they're good enough for this. Oh, do you know what? We might have just done it. I think we've done it. Bloody hell. Right, I'll get something to jam in there so that can't fall off there, and then we can join this back up. I was going the right way. Eureka. I think I dropped that. I had to go right underneath too, didn't you, you swine? There's not an awful lot of tolerance in here. Come on, come apart. I can't use you if you can't come apart. So for future reference, that's a 140H. 140H. I'm assuming that's the size of the link. I got Holly this morning. Sadly, it wasn't on camera. She was filling her, I'm not going to touch it because I got dirty hands. She was filling her cupboard up. So the doors were open. And when she dived inside to get some stuff to put in there, I got behind that door. Unfortunately, I jumped out about a second too soon. She wasn't quite there. And I didn't shout boo too loud because I knew she had a handful of cakes and stuff, but it was quite funny. I did see her skeleton leave her body for a fraction of a second. Right, okay, so we have got our joining link. We have got our two split pins or cotter pins if you want to use that. We have got our chain pretty much lined up. Hopefully okay, because I've got to get behind. So let's just put that in there now, shall we? Okay. What was that? Something fell out of there. Something fell out of there. There's a, oh, what's that? Is that broken? Where did it go? Oh, I think there's a ring inside there. Keep that. Bugger, I think that link's gone as well. This could end up being a very temporary repair. That's precursor, that might be why you went in the first place, if that was broken. So inside each of these links, have I got one up here? Yeah, there's one. So I have got one here. So inside the link there is like a bush, and I think that's gone inside that one. So do I need two joining links? Or can I find that bit of bush that just fell out of there? If the bush is broke. Although in saying that, I have just spoken to Andrew at King Feeders and said, have you got, I could do with replacing this and sort of upgrading it to something a bit newer. And he goes, I might have just what you want. So, what's that? That's not it. You can't see anything in there. That is black as a very black thing. I think we're going to do the repair, although it is a bit of a bodge. The links, believe it or not, the link I bought last year to replace this cost me 70 something quid. This time I went straight to the supplier and said, have you got any links? Yeah, I can have it to you tomorrow. How much are they? And I go, he goes, 11 quid. I go, right. So for 11 quid, I can kind of afford it. You can come out of there. Right, that's that then. And he's through there. A bit more on that end. You can go through that way. Okay. So that wasn't as bad as last time. Hopefully I've got the offending object out of there, because if I start this up and it goes bang again, well, then I will be replacing two links rather than one, but that is basically chain repaired. What do you reckon? Should we give it a go before I put the cover on? Tempting fate, not in it. Hopefully no loud bang. It's done. Right, we'll put the guards back on, go and do a mix. There's my repair. So if the centre bush has gone out of that drive link, which it appears to have done, that would possibly give me a reason as to why the chain went. It's been wearing on that link. So we've done 15, 20 loads since I repaired that last time. So hopefully it's going to last at least that long. By which time, so it's going to last this year, but by which time we may well move this one on and buy another machine. I want something a little bit smaller. This is a great machine, does a good job, but it's a bit big and I haven't really got space for it. And if I had something a bit smaller, this is a 15 cube. Andrew reckoned he had a 9 in there with a crane on it. I expect it's fair money, but Now we're doing more and more for the council, which means a lot more green waste, small stuff, sort of brambles and shrubby stuff, not so much tree stuff. This, a shredder to me, is probably more important now than a chipper. So especially as we can use the shredded material on the farm, so everything we're shredding here now will end up going over to the farm, and we will be using it as an organic additive to our arable ground, so we can plough it in. So it doesn't matter if it's the odd stick or lump or bit in it, doesn't matter. I haven't got to screen it. So yeah, we have to be a bit careful because of that material, if it's not broken down enough, drawing nitrogen out of the soil. But it only draws it out for a period. It draws it out and then it will put it back. So yeah, we'll have to be mindful of that. But if we do fairly regular soil tests every year, I've just had the bill for this year's nitrogen test, which was about 140 quid for all of the arable land. So we needed that. It gives us a baseline of how much nitrogen we can or should put on for whatever crop we're in the ground. So we were nitrogen poor after our second wheat, which isn't surprising because we didn't put an awful lot on the second wheat. So, but yeah, we only put enough nitrogen on for the spring barley. That's all gone now. But with the green cover crop we just put in, and whether we graze that or drill it or whatever we do, so there's some green cover crop going back in, plus the manure. We got what, 6 tons to the acre to go on, plus whatever we're producing here. Yeah, or organic, and our nitrogen should gradually go back up. And if we can do that fairly naturally without buying in, you know, man-made nitrogens, all the better, really, isn't it? There's the telephone number, by the way, if you're interested. If you're interested in one of these machines, I know Casto, you'd like one of these. Run quite well behind your little Mercedes. Yeah, give Andrew a ring at King Feeders. I'm sure he can sort you out. Oh yeah, and if you want straw bedder, so to go on the, I presume it's a tractor driven one. He didn't say what they are. He's just bought a load in of straw bedders. So if you want something to put on the back of your tractor, I'm assuming, to bed your cattle out with straw, give these guys a ring. Here, I'll leave the number there. Give these guys a ring. He's got a load in stock, so perhaps he'll do you a deal. Tell him I said low, and can they have an extra 5% off if they say Farmer P? He'll probably tell you to start off, but you know, nothing ventured. All right, so we're going to put a mix on. Oh, it'd be nice to get this last bit chewed up and converted. So, provided nothing else breaks, we should finish this easily today. So, although I have got to spend some time with Famous Dave, we're hoping to get some roof timbers on, maybe even some boarding, I don't know. Or if we go, no, I think we got to wait for the council man before we put any boarding on, but timbers, rafters thing. That's better. transit full there, isn't it? Good transit full. Stuck on the edge over there. Right, I'll grab that back. That's got it. We've done most of it. Just going to push up what's left into a bit more of a manageable heap, so I haven't got to scratch about with it with a ZAGO crane quite so much. Another hour or so we will be finished, but I'm going to scratch this up. We'll go and see Famous Dave, see how he's getting on. It is, I don't know what the time is. I left my watch in the house, but my tummy says it's nearly coffee time. It's nice to see that great big heap gone. Well, mostly gone anyway. If you wonder why I'm pushing it up like that, it's so I can spot things like that brick down there. If I chuck a stone or something in there off the bottom, if I tip it from a bit of a height, I can see it and pull it out. So it's not me being like TV chefy and dribbling me salt or nothing, there's a reason. Stone. It's alright, we'll make sure he stays down there. We'll get that later on. That's it, that's the last of it. All in there. Got it in on one mix, I thought I would. So it's pretty full, although as that grinds down, that volume will reduce. There's a little bit left out there. But by the end of the day, my guys would have bought some more in, so there's no point me being too OCD about getting it spotless, because this time tomorrow there'll be one, if not two more loads of stuff back in there. But yeah, what's the time? I was going to look at my watch, but I'm not wearing it. I took it off to do that chain repair. It is 10:30. Cup of coffee. Boo.
Yeah.